Today, I wanted to show you how easy it is to make all different kinds of assignments in Google Classroom. So to start, you will go into your Google Classroom app and select the class tile where you would like to create an assignment. I'm going to use my practice classroom. And from there, just like we're going to direct the kids to always get in the habit of going to Classwork first, that's where we're going to do a lot of our heavy lifting when it comes to our Google Classroom. So we'll click on Classwork, and right up here at the top is that create button with the plus sign, right? So we're going to click that, and you have 6 options to choose from. Assignment, quiz assignment, question, material, reuse, post, and topic. And I'm going to go through each one just so you get an idea of what you have to fill in and what each thing looks like. So the first one, probably the most common one that we'll use, is assignment. And when you click it, you get a window. You'll have some stuff to do on the left and some stuff to do on the right. So first things first, you're going to give it a title. Again, be specific. You might want to, include the date or the topic of the area of the curriculum. Fractions, week of September 1st. Whatever makes it really, really easy for kids to go back and find. Same with instructions. You want to be clear. You want to be simple, but you want to be detailed enough that they know precisely what to do without question. If you want them, to click on 2 links below, type that out. If they're going to go and, remember to hit submit at the end, type that here to maybe put it in, short sentences, one after the other. So visually, it's not a big block of text to look at. Down here, you can attach as many or as few documents as needed for the student to complete this lesson. If you click Add, you have the option of choosing something you've already created from Google Drive, maybe a link to a website online, a file that's saved on your computer, or a YouTube video. And, you can, while you're working and preparing your lessons, you can also create something new. So if you know you'd like to have a worksheet or, a simple place for them to type their paragraph, you might want to just create the document right here if it's not something you already have. Once this is set up, the only things to know about the right hand side are you can use where underneath the word for. This is where you're going to select one or more than one class that you'd like this assignment to push out to. You can also select the default is all students. More cases than not, the assignment is directed to everybody. But if you were differentiating, or if somebody was absent, or if you were doing small group instruction, you might want to hand select an individual student to receive the assignment. Below that is points. You can mess with that, give it a point value, or decide that it's something that's ungraded. You can assign the due date and the due time if you choose. That's up to you. Topic is a way for your Google Classroom to stay a little bit more organized. And I have a video that I will share a little bit later in this presentation on exactly how to do that and how they work. So if you have a topic already prepared, like assignments or tech tips like I have, you can make this assignment appear underneath one of these headings. Think of it as like a header or a divider by topic. You can attach a rubric if you want. And this is a new link. I don't want to speak to it because I don't know enough about it, but there is a new feature of Google Classroom that allows some level of like a turnitin.com, like to check plagiarism from one student to another. But again, without knowing any details, I don't want to speak too much more to that. Once you have all of the elements filled in this pop-out window, you're going to have a couple of choices. Of course, mine's blank, so everything here is going to be grayed out. I can't click anything. But if I'm ready to go, I'm just going to click Assign. If it's something that is not going to be ready for students to do tomorrow, and I'd like to schedule it for later in the year or some other date, I would hit Schedule. But please remember that you can't select Schedule if you have selected multiple classes for the assignment to appear in. For some reason, the two things don't work together. If you have pushed your assignment out to multiple classes at once, which is a time saver, then you cannot schedule it to appear later in the year. If you are just pushing it out to one, then for some reason you are allowed to schedule it to show up at a later date. And if you are not quite finished or you want to go back to it because it's a work in progress, that's when you would save it as a draft. And of course, you can always go back and edit. So, assignment is the most basic one, and all the other ones look pretty similar. So, let's take a look. Uh, if we are choosing quiz assignment, the screen looks pretty similar with one big difference. It is attaching down here a Google form. So it allows you to actually create the quiz right there and then attach it in the same way. Title, instructions, and all the same business on the right-hand side. Same thing. The only difference is it creates an attachment for you so you can set your quiz up right away. The next option is question, and that is great for, if you're just doing a check-in when you first start class or an exit ticket or something like that. It allows you to put, some sort of guide question over here, and you have a choice of either making it a short answer for the kids to type something in or a multiple choice. You can give them, any instructions that you want. You can add an attachment if they're to watch a video or if something goes with it, you can certainly add to it. And then again, almost the identical features on the right hand side about points and due dates and things like that, just like the other assignments. The next option is material. I used this a lot in my library class because I had a lot of stuff that I just wanted to post, but I didn't want the kids to do anything with it. So it gives it a slightly different icon. So when it appears in your classroom, the assignment, it's going to be, it'll look like an assignment, except the icon looks more like a plain piece of paper with a bookmark or something on it, a little tab on it that can let the kids know this is just maybe a reference sheet. Maybe you want to post, your course syllabus or the rules of your classroom or a definition sheet or some sort of reference sheet that goes with your content, something that they are going to refer back to and just be, a document to look at and not do anything with. As you can see, there's nothing in the options over here for grading and things like that. This is simply a reference sheet. So again, you can add, a document that you have saved, or you can create something new. Materials, can be useful, but these are non-graded. And the last type of assignment that you can create is actually to kind of borrow from something you've already done, and that's the reuse post. And it allows you to choose a given assignment from any of your other classes or this same class, maybe one that appeared earlier in the year, you'd like to reuse it, or maybe something you did last year in a different class or in your an alternate section of the same class, and you just would like to sort of borrow it. You would locate it and choose reuse, and then it shows up very set up the same way as a regular assignment. I'm sorry, I was still in material for that one. And last thing, the last thing you can create new is a topic. And again, I have a video that's coming up later in this presentation about that, but it allows you to just, come up with a new content heading if you wanted to separate your class assignments. Like in this practice classroom, I have two topics. One of them is tech tips and the other is assignments. If you're teaching, your course best. Perhaps you want to break it down by unit, by week, by, the type of thing that it is, it's totally your call. So that was a lot. There are a lot of options, but they're all very similar, very user-friendly, very easy to create. My biggest advice would be to keep it simple and clear for the kids, because we don't want to have a lot of what I call the wait what's. You spend all this time creating an assignment with a Google Doc and explicit instructions, and you get comments from your students or things posted in the stream that are basically the equivalent of, wait, what? What do I do? And you don't want to have that happen. So be as clear and precise as you can so that you're directing them to do exactly what needs done. If you have any other questions, you know where to find me. If you found this tech tip useful, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on TikTok.